With tensions rising by the hour, Iran issued a stark message to the United States. Iran's ambassador to South Korea, Saeed Koozechi, warned, "If American boots hit Iranian soil, many coffins will return to the U.S., further escalating the already volatile tension." In a press conference at the Iran Embassy in Yongsan-gu, Seoul, Koozechi called the U.S. and Israeli strikes an illegal aggression and defended Iranian strikes on Gulf states hosting U.S. military bases as unavoidable. The Iranian diplomat also demanded that South Korea, a key ally of the U.S., take a clear stance on the current situation and demand a halt to the ongoing conflict. He insisted that Iran is fully justified in responding militarily, citing Article 51 of the UN Charter, which guarantees a nation's right to self-defense. Tehran also claims that diplomacy was still underway when the attacks began. According to the diplomat, Iran had already held 2 rounds of nuclear negotiations with Washington and had even agreed to a third meeting in Vienna before the talks collapsed amid the escalating strikes. The Iranian official accused Washington and Tel Aviv of abandoning diplomacy, saying negotiations cannot continue while full-scale attacks are underway. Tehran also took aim directly at Trump, saying the U.S. president appears to treat nuclear negotiations like a business deal, adding that Trump has likely never read the landmark Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. Iran also rejected allegations that its nuclear program has military aims, pointing to repeated inspections by the International Atomic Energy Agency, which Tehran says confirmed its program is not weapons-related. At the same time, the diplomat accused Israel, widely believed to possess nuclear weapons, of refusing international inspections. The official also praised Iran's slain leadership figures, saying one senior leader refused to leave his office during the attacks despite having evacuation options, choosing instead to remain with the people. Tehran insists the country's political system remains stable even during wartime, though the election of a new supreme leader would require the assembly of an expert council once conditions allow. Meanwhile, Iran warned that the presence of American bases in foreign countries could drag more nations into the conflict, claiming the United States often treats those bases as if they were American territory. The diplomat also dismissed reports of Gulf shipping blockades, saying the drop in maritime traffic is more likely due to insurance companies and ship owners avoiding the war zone. Tehran claimed that reports of attacks on civilian infrastructure across the Gulf may actually be covert operations by Israeli and American intelligence agencies.
It is quite natural that in reality, the immense number of all these military forces exceeding 50,000 personnel deployed by the United States throughout the region and their extensive utilization of military bases in the nations surrounding us is for the undertaking of this act of aggression and malice. It is only natural that the extent of the confrontation will, by its very nature, inevitably broaden. In a situation where, given the circumstances,
the Iranian diplomat's warning comes as tensions between Iran and the United States continue to surge following days of intense military confrontation across the region. The Israeli ambassador in Seoul, Rafael Harpaz, meanwhile, said that the joint U.S.-Israeli military operations aim both to destroy Iran's nuclear development facilities and ballistic missile sites, and to help free the Iranian people from oppression. Remember, South Korea has supported U.S.-led diplomatic efforts to curb Iran's nuclear ambitions, but has not explicitly endorsed the U.S.-Israeli attacks, instead calling for a swift restoration of dialogue.
The goal of the operation, beside elimination of the was left from the nuclear program and the ballistic missile program, is to create the conditions that the Iranian people can take the destiny into their hands and to get rid from this tyranny that they suffered for the last 47 years. There is nobody better than Korea that understands the risk of a neighboring country, which is a radical tyranny, which has nuclears of mass destruction and very aggressive defense and policy. The risk that you are facing is the same risk that the free world and the countries in the Middle East are facing. Regarding the Korean citizens in the Middle East, first, we have a lot of admiration to the efforts the Korean government is conducting to take care of your citizens in the Middle East. United States and Israel are not fighting the Iranian people. They are fighting the regime, this extremist regime, and the goal of the operation is, yes, that we would like at the end, we hope that the Iranian people will free free people, like Korean people, like American people, like Israeli people, and we hope that this operation will enable them to take their destiny to themselves. They try to, and 30-something thousands of them were murdered by their own regime, and we hope they can take their destiny with these conditions that are created now.
The US-Israel war with Iran could disrupt supplies of key semiconductor manufacturing materials, according to South Korean ruling party lawmaker Kim Young-bae. He added that South Korea's chip industry, which supplies around 2/3 of the global memory chips, is also concerned that a prolonged conflict in Iran will lead to higher energy costs and prices. Kim Young-bae said semiconductor production could be disrupted if some of these key materials, like helium, cannot be sourced from the Middle East. Remember, helium is essential for heat management during semiconductor production and has no viable alternatives currently. It is only produced in a handful of countries, with Qatar and the US among the leading players in the industry. The Middle East is on edge after Iran launched retaliatory missiles and drones at Israel and US military assets in the region in response to the joint attack that killed Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on February 28th and scores of Iranian civilian, military, and political figures.
News never stops. The world keeps turning, and every turn tells a story. Wars, elections, geopolitics, Davids versus Goliaths.
While everyone is celebrating the US-China trade thaw, Trump has been quietly doing something else across Asia.
These were once home to the ancient Silk Road connecting east and west.
But who's connecting the dots? Who's decoding the global storm? Welcome to Times of India videos.
You're watching a special edition of Global Pulse with me, Neha Khanna.
We decode the shifting grains of geopolitics to you. From Washington to Wuhan. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Just 2 years ago, Canada was one of the most popular countries for Indian students.
From Davos to Delhi, we track the decisions that move markets, shift policies, and shape the future. No jargon, no bias, just clear, credible, global journalism. Because understanding the world doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be smart. And that's what we do best. At Times of India videos, we don't just tell stories, we build perspective. We connect the dots between what's global and what's personal, what's happening out there, and what it means for you. It's fast. It's fearless. It's making sense of the changing world order. Times of India videos. Because your worldview is just a tap away.